Something new to Dataflex link is something called connection control. If I just click on the link here, we can see that we have a page which tells us that we can control who can connect to Dataflex link. If on is selected on this selector switch here, it means only users in the list down here can connect to Dataflex link. If it's off, which is the default position, anyone could connect. So let's just test that out now. I'm going to go to a form where I know we need to connect, and we're going to click this one here because I know we need to connect there, and I'm just going to connect as anything. Bear in mind I have my own email server, so I can add any email and it's just going to come to me, so that's why I've put in something random there. And I'm just going to send myself a padlock code just to show that I can connect. I'll grab that code, I'll add the code here, and we can see that we can connect, and we're connected as this specific user here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a restriction to say that we can only connect as test@test.com. So I'll go back to connection control. I see I can't just turn this on. It says in order to activate or deactivate connection control, we need to check your license key. So let's go across to the license page. I have validated my license, so that's why it's here, so I can copy the key. And I'll go to connection control, I'll add it into here. I should be able to switch it on. There we go. Let's just prove that I can't switch it off without the correct license key. It's rejected the change. Please check your license key. So that's on at the moment. Now if we try and submit again, let's see what happens. So we've been disconnected because we're not in the list here. So right now nobody can connect. So I'll just prove that. I'll add test@test.com, and we should see it's rejected. Yeah, connection for this email is refused. So let's go ahead and add a user to connection control, and we're going to add test@test.com, and we'll call it test. Let's save that. User list successfully updated. So let's try again. But first of all, let's try anything, and we should get a rejection. Yep. Let's now try test@test.com. Let's add the code here. And now we're connected as test@test.com, and we can perform a search. So right now only test@test.com can perform this search. If the user isn't under connection control, they're not going to be able to connect. So let's just see an arbitrary example of where this might be useful. So in this case I've changed our test database to say report a ball. This is just an example of how anyone can report a ball, but only test@test.com can search for items added to the database. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to take this URL and I'm going to open it in another browser. And here we go. So we can see we need to add a ball, a place, and our own email address. So I'm going to change this wording here. So let's go to our database. It's number 30. And we're going to change the wording of this entry and email address to say please add your email. And we'll tick that. So let's go back to our other browser and refresh. And we can see this has been added. So I'm going to be a guy called John who's just reporting a ball. He's going to report a baseball, and he's going to report it in Cornwall. So the next thing we have to add, we must add an email address. So my name's John at cornwalllife.com. I'm not sure if Cornwall Life exists as a URL, but it doesn't really matter. Remember, I've got my own email server, so we'll just add that. So if we go to the search, and as you remember, only test@test.com can connect. So if I try and connect as John at cornwalllife.com, it's not going to allow me to connect. And we should get a connection refused. Yep. So only test@test.com can search. Let's just change this search quickly and we'll add a location so we can just search and find John's entry very quickly. So it's 32, I believe, is the search. And place we can add. I'll stick that under here. We'll just put whereabouts. And how should it match? I'm going to say no restriction. Let's give it a score of 1,000. And we're not going to restrict by it, but what should happen is we should get everything that matches this field here. However, anything that matches this field here should be near the top because of the weighting. So let's refresh and do that search. I'm not sure how many baseball entries there are, so let's click on baseball and see how many there actually are. Okay, there's 4. Cornwall's is at the top anyway. So let's search on not shareable and we'll see if that goes to the top. We'll just use the word shareable actually. Copy that. Let's reset this search. Baseball again, and search edit info, shareable. Let's submit that. There we go. So test@test.com can search and no one else can.